Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the Equity Index Options Outlook for December 7th, 2008. First off, we're going to have a look at the S&P 500 using the Spider Exchange Trader Fund symbol SPY. And over the Thanksgiving weekend, we had a rejection at the 90-92 level, and that Monday came back with an extremely strong selling that exceeded the 84-85 focal zone. But we spent the rest of the week consolidating at or above that focal area, which is actually a relatively positive indication, as we expected some strong follow-through on the downside below the 84-85. The fact that we're consolidating above the zone now leaves the window open for a continuation rally. So at this stage, what we're looking for is a confirmation of this with a solid break above the 90-92 focal point on the upside, at which point we would target a zone up in this 94 to 97 range on the upside, and potentially a move that goes all the way up to that 99 focal zone we have marked up there. But with that said, any technical break back down below the 84 zone will immediately shift our view, and then we would look for some testing back into that 70-79 zone on the downside. So it's very important to see whether this rally has follow through above the 90-92, which will give us that information we're looking for. Next here, we're going to have a look at the ISE US Regional Banks Index, symbol JLO. And last week we talked about this little retracement zone right here, which sat right above that 24-25 focal point as an area where we anticipated the market potentially to reverse. That reversal came in first thing on Monday and came down all the way to the $21 area. So at this stage we adjusted the focal point we had down in the 19-20 area now to reflect the 20-21 area, which we had there several weeks ago. And at this stage, with it bouncing off that area back into 24-25, we have an interesting situation where at this stage, if the S&P 500 and so on have that upside breakout, we at first would be targeting an area all the way up into this 26 to 28 range on the upside for a completed leg on this first leg higher. But obviously a rejection at this 24-25 area may see us continue to consolidate between these two lower focal points until we have some sort of confirmation of a technical break. So let's continue to observe how this one plays out. Next here, we're going to look at the ISE Syndex Index, which is the symbol SIN, and this is an index of distiller, tobacco, and casino companies. More or less, we talked about last week this retracement area right here marked by the blue box as an area where we expected the market to do a retracement. At this stage, it came and pulled back all the way down into that 60-62 area and then started to rally. So now we're going to identify a new focal area around the 66-68 area. At this stage, this will be a pivot from which we will see the upcoming week's price action. One thing we're going to see, if we have a solid break above that 66-68 area, it immediately opens the window for testing up into that 75-77 focal point. But the initial rally may fall a little bit short. We're going to mark it off in this blue box in between that 73 to 75 area. But more or less, any break above that 68, we're looking for a continuation rally on the upside. If in fact we do not break above that 66-68, and particularly any break below the 60-62 may open the window back for retesting down into 55-53. But really at this stage we are anticipating an upside move here. Next here, we're going to look at the ISE Home Builders Index, symbol RUF. And last week we talked about this retracement box here between the 6.5 to 7.5 area as an area we expected a pullback to occur from. At this stage, we did get that pullback on that huge sharp Monday drop, went all the way down to 6.25 and immediately reversed back up to reflect that we adjusted our focal point down 25 points down to the 625 to 675. But at this stage, with the support coming in that zone and the upside breakout, the price action here on the home builder index is actually very positive. The measured move upside, we're targeting up in this 8.5 to 9 area, which is just slightly off from the focal point we have in the 875, 9.25, but at this stage expecting some further follow through on the upside on home builders is expected. Next here we're going to look at the ISE natural gas index, symbol FUM, and last week we talked about this 75-85 retracement zone, which is where we expected the market to initially reject off that area. After that rejection, we actually adjusted our focal point from the 70-74 area back up to the 74-78 area, which now more accurately reflects the support and resistance zone. And with the rejection there, we came back and came right into that 60-62 area. So this is a pivotal moment in the natural gas index, because any break of that 60-62 area immediately opens the window for a move that measures all the way down to that 52 area on the downside or lower. So it's important for support levels to hold here, or we'll see a whole new move lower on that natural gas index. If support did come in here, we would need to see some positive price action above that 80 area on the upside in order to open the window for something bullish. But at this stage, the relative weakness in the natural gas index is evident. And finally, we want to have a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which rejected on Friday of last week at that 420-430 area, which we now mark off as a focal point. And subsequently, we spent 5 days in a consolidation area all the way down into this what we call consolidation zone down in the 390 to 410 area on the downside. At this stage, if support levels do come in here and we have a technical reversal with a solid break above that 420, 430 area, at that stage the window opens for testing all the way back up into this 455, 465 area. The initial rally may fall a little bit short of that zone, but we are looking for a bullish follow through so long as we have the confirmation with a technical break above that 430 area. If for whatever reason we have any break below that 390, obviously testing of those lows down in the 375, 385 would be in the cards. Thank you for joining me for the ISE Equity Index Options Outlook for December 7th, 2008, and look forward to catching you online next week. Thank you.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.